Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate here, hosted by me, Thomas Chappell. I'm here with my special mentor guest, Bill Tan. We left off talking about your student that was in juvie that helped you find some properties, and you wanted to add something to that. So please.
Well, I just wanted to point out to your listeners that he found these properties just by walking around his neighborhood and maybe driving around his neighborhood. It didn't cost him any money to go out and find these leads. He just found an area that he was comfortable to walk around, and he went out and found the houses that nobody was living in.
And that's what we tell most people. That's very true. We say those who are old like us, you know, but still young at heart.
I was going to say, speak for yourself.
We used to watch a sitcom called Bewitched, and there was a nosy neighbor that was called Miss Kravitz. And we say, if you can go into a neighborhood and find you a Miss Kravitz, and the Miss Kravitz is a type of woman or a sir that's out in their yard when the sun rises or before the sun sets, and they can tell you, they're the oldest people in the neighborhood, they can tell you everything you want to know. You can say, hey, me and my family go to the church on the corner. We want to relocate. My kids go to the school down the street, and they will tell you everything they know about the neighborhood, because a lot of people don't talk to them that much, and they just want to talk. And then before you end the conversation, you can say, hey, oh, by the way, do you know anyone that's selling? They'll point you right to that individual. So it's not hard building relationships. You just got to be able to just take a step foot forward and open up your mouth and let the words come on out. Now, with all the things that you've done in real estate, who was some of the people that really inspired you to get you into real estate? I know we've spoken about it before.
Into real estate?
Yeah, like, you know, as
or
far as
already in real estate and helped me.
Yeah,
which one?
Already in real estate and helping you.
I would say the people who are most influential in my real estate career are John Bailey for the notes, and my friend Wayne Palmer out of Salt Lake City area. People you would know would be Peter Fortunato out of Florida, John Schaub out of Florida, Jack Miller and Jimmy Napier. They were also out of Florida. They have passed, but their products are still available. Locally here, one person who's been very, very helpful is Bruce Norris. And so there are a lot of people. You can learn something from just about everybody who does a presentation. If you're listening, just remember that you're giving them your most valuable asset, and that's your time. So make it worthwhile if you're giving somebody your time.
That's very true. Now with Jack Miller, Jimmy Napier, the Pete Fortunatos of the world, the Bruce Norrises, even Bill Cook, you know, all these individuals that I've been exposed to because of all the different meetings that I have attended here in Southern California, you know, and these gentlemen, they come from all over, and they are getting to the point where they're getting older, but they love teaching the wisdom and knowledge that they have in real estate. And because that I attach myself to a person like Bill Tan and others, I got to know a lot in this industry when it came to doing real estate and how to be able to structure the deals that I make. And you just had Bill Cook on your meeting a couple of weeks ago, and the one thing he was talking about was options. Could you go into that a little bit, please?
Certainly. An option is a unilateral agreement between two people. And I can give you a very good example. I just helped put a deal together, was it 2 days ago? Yeah, just 2 days ago, and helped put a deal together in San Diego. The seller wanted and needed to sell his property, and my student wanted to buy it. And he couldn't figure out how to buy this property because the guy says, look, I'm willing to finance the sale of this property. He was willing to be the bank, but he says, I cannot be paid off in less than 5 years. I can't, for tax reasons, I cannot be paid off at all. And my student was going, I don't think we could, because of the new lending laws, I don't know how to do this. And so I pointed out the best way to protect your seller is to ask him, okay, how long does he need? He can't sell it he can't sell this property in less than 5 years. But, how long would it be when he would definitely want to sell it? Well, he thinks he'd be completely retired in between 5 and 8 years. I said, well, what we will do is we will set up this, that my student will lease that property from the owner with the right to make any improvements to the property, and he will lease it for a term of 30 years and at a fixed rent amount today. And we're going to give my student an option to buy the property, and the exercise cannot be exercised. We chose 6 years. Cannot be exercised before 6 years, so that the seller is saying, look, I want to sell this property. I probably want to sell this property, but I'm going to give you the right to buy this property, and you cannot buy it until after 6 years have passed. And talking with the seller further, he says, I don't want to wait more than at most 10 years to be able to have sold the property and to be receiving the income from the financing. So we agreed that the option to my client, my student, would be for the years 6 through 10. He had an opportunity to buy the property for a set price today, and setting up the seller financing today, my student would give him $100,000 as option consideration that the seller doesn't have to claim as income until my student decides to either buy the property, let go of the option, say, I don't want this property anymore, or the option expires. Until that point, the man has $100,000 to play with and doesn't have to tell the IRS he has it. And then when my student decides to buy it, chooses at which time he chooses to buy it, then he can, I got lost there. Then he can exercise his option. At that point, the seller will then finance the sale for 30 years, and they will have already set up what the financing will be and what the payment will be today. And the seller is now happy. It's off his mind. It's not weighing on his mind any longer. A couple benefits to the seller. While my student owns the property, he still owns the property. He is now a housing provider. Don't use the term landlord anymore. Housing provider, and then he has tax benefits for being a housing provider. And so he has income that is taxed differently than regular income from the lease. He has option consideration of $100,000 that he doesn't have to claim yet. And he doesn't have to worry about this property anymore. It's out of his hands, because it's up to my student if he wants to buy the property or not buy the property. It's no longer up to the seller. To my student, okay, he gets a fixed monthly payment as if it was seller financing for the period of time,
right, during
until he exercises his option. We have a lease for 30 years, so he can write it off as if it is his property.
Okay.
Most people don't understand that. He'll have all the write-ups as if he's a buyer of that property in addition.
Correct.
Now, don't believe a word I just said. Go talk to your tax advisor.
And these are the things that we learn when we have these. That's why we have these necessary meetings, because you get to learn how to be able to do real estate in a way where it will benefit you as well as the seller at the same time. There's a lot of different ways, as we used to say, to skin a cat, and here's the options to do that. You just got to know what's actually going to benefit you. And the reason for us to have these meetings is to give you guys that are listening the opportunities to change your life, to better yourself, and that's just what it takes to do that. So we want to make sure that you understand. That's why we provide this show for you, that you can hear the different things that we talk about and come to our meetings. We're non-sales meetings, so we're not asking for money. We just want your brain, because we want to help you out to better yourself. So
let me add something here.
Go for it.
When we're when you have your show and when I have my meetings and when you have your meeting, I like to tell people that you're not a real estate investor. You're not this, that, or the other. What you want to be is a problem solver. And the quality of your life will be determined by the quality of the problems you solve, not the number of the problems you solve. So when you go talk to people about if they're selling their house, they have a problem. And if you can get them to tell you what that problem is and work with them to solve their problems, you can make money in this business or any other business.
I couldn't say it no better than that. I really appreciate that. It's nice to know that we have a mandate, and the mandate is to help each other out. We are created for each other. We're here to solve each other's problems, and I appreciate that.
And these problems have to help everybody. It
Exactly.
has to be a win-win-win. Win for you, win for me, and win for anybody else involved.
It's not going to work if you're looking at the money and just getting greedy. You know, that's why the Bible talks about the love of money. It's not about money. It's about us helping each other, especially through the times that we go through. One of the signature things that you are very known of is the financial calculator and your financial calculator class. Can we talk about that?
Okay. I've been teaching a class for people, and I call it my Real Estate Finance 101 class. It's how to do creative financing, how to structure deals, and it's the first one, 101, starts off with and 102 start off with how to use the financial calculator. And most people think there's nothing to use in a financial calculator until they actually get into it. Like the other night, I taught a free hands-on workshop, and I had people on the call from New Jersey to, did I have somebody from Hawaii? I had from East to West Coast, for sure on that, and showed them things about how to use the financial calculator. If you don't know by the way, what aspects of your life revolve around financing? I ask that at every presentation I do. And people say, well, you buy your house, you get a mortgage. Yes. Well, if you buy your car, you get a car loan. Most people get a car loan.
Yes.
How about your phone? Phones are so expensive now, people finance those.
Yes.
Student debt. Students have to finance their education. Their financing touches every aspect of your life. And most people don't understand that when you buy a car and they say it's only $100 down and $100 a month, that they're financing and then you're paying rent on the loan amount that you don't put up yourself.
We're going to put you on a pause right there. We need to take another commercial break. We'll come back and more here explain that. Thank you for listening to The Real Men of Real Estate.